Othello on the beat.
Y'all made it. Hey y'all. Welcome to OTDL, where we only gonna keep it real.
I'm Dom.
I'm Lex, and we just gonna get straight into
We
it.
made it. Now, how
Yay.
excited are you?
I'm very excited. I'm excited to talk about all the things that me and her already talk about every day.
Right.
Right.
Really though.
So let's do some introductions. You wanna go first?
I can go first. So I am Dominique, but all my friends call me Dom. I am a proud Fort Worth native. To be more specific, stop 6, but we're not gonna get into that.
Oh, you said Fort Worth.
Yeah. I'm also a soon to be TCU grad. I'll be getting my bachelor's of science in communication studies. For fun, I enjoy poetry, watching battle rap, shopping. And a fun fact about me is that I actually never learned how to ride a bike. So, but don't judge my life because it's okay.
I've been judging you since I found that out years ago. You should
I really
that should
feel
not
the
still be your
support.
fun fact. You gotta
But
find
it
your fun
is.
facts.
I still haven't learned to ride a bike.
Okay, hey y'all, I'm Lexi, aka Alexis, aka Lex, aka CW. It's that joke.
We're not gonna get into CW.
Yes, no, you don't need to know what that is. Okay. Education. I graduated from TCU last year with a bachelor's in strategic communication. I'm now teaching, so I'm not using my degree yet, but plan on it in the future. I'm originally from Chicago, and now I live in Texas. Been here for quite some time, so I guess you could call me a Texan if you would like. What I like to do for fun?
Get on my nerves. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna let you go.
Like to play with my puppy and watch TV. Pretty boring. I don't really get much free time, so this is my free time. Okay, Dom, why are we here?
So Lexi and we've been really talking about doing a podcast for a long time.
A long time. Literally, I remember mentioning it like a while ago, like playfully.
Right. And what's crazy, so we have really dope conversations all the time. And it'll be about something random that topic will lead us to talking about something else. Then we'll end up talking about something else. And before you know it, we're on the phone for like 2 hours. And then our conversation will wrap. And we'll be like, bro, we should really start a podcast. That was good. And we've always talked about everything. It. But now it feels really good to actually be doing it. And I think we have a lot of good things to say, a lot of good things to share. And I really think our experiences can help others because we're still trying to figure out life. And that's what a lot of our conversations are about.
Yeah. And I think with you, I feel like I don't call you to be my yes man. I don't call you to tell me, yeah, you're right. Every time when I'm going through things or when I'm having a disagreement with somebody, like I think her advice and just her insight on things is always really authentic. And I think that when this was placed on my heart, like there was nobody better to do it with. So that's why we're doing this together.
Girl, you love me. I love to hear it. But I honestly feel the same way. And I think those are kind of like the best kind of friends to have. Because between you and my best friends, it's always like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I understand what you're saying, but that was wrong. That was wrong. And I think
if she tell me I'm wrong, I know I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And vice versa, honestly.
It's vice versa. Exactly. Yeah. If I'm right, Dom said I'm right, so
right.
That's what it is.
Lexi said that was okay, so it has to be all right because if it makes sense to her. And honestly, I think we do that a lot. Like I'll call you and be like, "Girl, you won't believe what just happened." So am I tripping for reacting like this, or and it happens all the
Literally.
time? Yeah.
I literally asked Dom, am I tripping? That's the last sentence I say after I explain the whole situation. I'll be like, tell me if I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't be tripping, y'all. I be knowing what I'm talking about. Sometimes.
Facts. Sometimes you be tripping though. Sometimes you be tripping. I ain't gonna lie
Whatever.
to you. Sometimes you be tripping. So how did we
But
meet, Lexi? Tell the folks how we met.
unfortunately, we met a few years ago when
Not you saying
20,
unfortunately.
I said with love. 2018, came to TCU. I was working at Jarvis and she was working there. I honestly did not think we would be like as close as we are. Did you?
Why?
I don't know.
I think
You
I
did?
think I wasn't sure, honestly. I really did not know. And then the more we worked with each other at first, because I'm really shaky on making new friends. That sounds bad because I'm really social, but it's very
And
few
I
people who
felt
I
that
call
vibe
my
too.
friend. Yeah. But I'm goofy. I laugh. I talk to everybody. I have a really big mouth because I talk a lot. And I knew we were going to be cool. I just didn't know we were going to be this close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think, I don't know. I mean, me coming in like in the middle of the year as a transfer student, I was kind of eager to make friends,
Mhm.
but I knew that would be kind of hard because people kind of already like have those established relationships. But everyone was like very welcoming for me, so I'm forever grateful for that. I miss college a lot, but I'll be back. Not at TCU, but
Not at
TBD.
TCU, but she'll be back. Yeah.
I'll be back in school. Um, but yeah, and then from there, the rest is history.
Right.
From
Now
us
you can't get
meeting,
enough of me. Tell the people
I
how much you
really do
love
talk
me.
to her. I talk to her all the time, y'all. I don't know why. I get sick of her. I call her and I be like, "Damn, why did I call her?
You love me.
Why did I call you?
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce
What does
soir?
that mean?"
I don't know, but it sounds beautiful. I think it's French. Um, so on the DL, what's crazy is when we were like thinking through names and trying to figure out like what exactly our vibe was. Like we've had like a ton of meetings trying to figure out, what we wanted to do. And I shared the name and our logo with my sister. And she called me and she said, the logo is cute. I really like it, but on the DL. You you know what that you know what that mean, right? And I said, yeah, but I think one on the DL just has a shock factor itself because there's one thing that people think about when they hear the
Yeah,
word
but there's
DL.
multiple meanings to it.
Right. And so I was telling her,
I
well,
know it
one, it
as.
was
I've always known it as like. Sorry, go ahead.
go no, go, finish.
I was saying I've always known it as like something on the down low, like nobody know
Right.
about. But
Low
I know there's
key.
other. Yeah, low key, exactly. We
Right.
use DL because her name Dom, my name Lex. DL is cute.
Right. But I was telling her, well, one, it was enough for you to call me. So the name struck you that much that you picked up your
Exactly.
phone and called me to ask me about it. But one, I think one, it grabs a lot of people's attention, obviously. But I think when
Right.
we say on the DL, me and Lexi talk about a lot of stuff that's not typical of our age bracket. We really think
Right.
further in the future. We think deep about different topics. We go in depth about things that we're going through and we're facing. And it's really like it's not on the DL in terms of it being a secret, but it's like, dang, like this was deep down inside of me, and I really never really
Yeah.
thought about it. Like, it was down low, like
Right.
in my heart and in my head. And for us to be talking about it is really great. So I really
Right.
like the name. Our
Me too.
logo's cute. Shout
I got a
out to the
compliment on the
I
name. They
bet.
were like, "Oh, that name is so cute." I was like, "Thank
Ain't
you,
it?
girl."
We gotta put it on the shirt.
Yes. Yes. But I guess my interpretation is similar. For me, I think that me and John talk about a lot of things that people don't talk about, whether that's people our age, in the Black community, in the Christian community, and all the communities that we are involved in, and most of them are similar. So I feel like on the DL is also like we're talking about stuff that's like people talk about it, they know about it, it's there, but nobody acknowledges it. So that's like another way that it can be interpreted as well, because we are going to be talking about stuff. Some of it may be controversial, um, but yeah, that's kind of like my interpretation of it as well, and why I think this podcast is so important to me because I feel like God places a lot of stuff on my heart, and I don't want to speak for Dom, but I feel this. I get the same vibe for her as well, that like we have a lot of stuff that's placed on our heart, and I want to share that with people. But then there's also like you have to be in a safe space to be able to do so, because some of the stuff that I want to share, some of the opinions that I have might not be the popular opinion. So
That's very true. And I think a lot of times when we have a lot of the conversations that we do have, I'll be like, Lexi, I think this about this. And she'd be like, girl, I was scared to say it, but I kind of feel the same
literally,
way.
there was literally one time I called her, or vice versa. She might have called me, and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but since you said it, let's
Right.
talk about it. Let's talk about it."
You brought it up. So let's dive deep into that. But no, seriously. And I think that that's the beauty about our friendship, but the beauty about us doing this podcast together is one, our goal is to be extremely authentic and transparent about our viewpoints, our experiences, where we come from.
Who we are.
Um, yeah, just it's a combination of everything. And I think that it's really helpful for other young adults, young Christians, young Black women, young ladies who are still trying to navigate life and figure out, what their values are, what their non-negotiables are, what is this big mixing pot called life that we're living in. And I think that that's kind of our goal, is to be just really helpful and really inspiring and let people know, sweetheart, you are not alone. We felt the same way.
Right. And we do want to like create opportunities to have guests, because I know there's probably a lot of people out there who, maybe not think exactly how we think, but they might think about a certain topic and have a certain opinion, maybe an unpopular opinion, or just opinion in general, that you want to share. So like want to create space for that too, to hear other conversations and not just for each other. Um, did you want to share values?
Ooh, okay. So our first one is sisterhood.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite values. Because aside from you and I being friends, I really, one, value our friendship, but two, I really view you as a sister. And the way that I talk to you may not be the way that I talk to somebody that I work with. And our relationship is just really genuine. And I think that we put a lot of emphasis on sisterhood, and we recognize the strength of it, because there's been many times where I've been down, life has really been kicking my butt, and I know I can call and lean on Lexi
Yes.
for that support, and vice versa. She's called me, and it's been things going on in her life, and she'll call, and I'll be that extra sense of encouragement. And so we really value sisterhood and our friendship a lot. So sisterhood is one of
Right.
my favorite values.
I agree. I remember multiple times. One specific time I'm thinking of in my head, and I literally called them. I didn't say nothing. I just started screaming. I was in my car. I was bawling, and I was literally screaming to the top of my lungs. And she was like, she didn't ask me what was wrong. She didn't say what's wrong with you. She was just like, just breathe, just breathe. And so, yeah, sisterhood is a big one for me too. Cause, yeah, let me just leave it at that. I'm gonna get emotional.
Good stuff. Don't cry now, girl, because these is minks. I can't.
Not me. Is they 5D?
They 25 MMs. I can't get these
Girl,
away. I dropped a couple
girl, rip them off.
couple
Rip them
dollars
off.
on them. But another one of my values is authenticity. Tell the folks about authenticity, sis.
Authenticity. We just, I like keeping it real. Don keeps it real. I keep it real. That's really just the most important thing. I'm not trying to get on here and act like somebody I'm not. And that's just, for me, that's just social media in general. Like, I'm not going to be posting if I'm knowing I'm having a crappy day, knowing that things going bad in my life, and be posting like I'm all good, I probably just won't post. But just in general, as far as the podcast, I think that's the whole point. That's how we're trying to gravitate towards people is being authentic, because people gravitate towards that.
The accuracy. I think that's always the concern when people do things like podcasts or television shows. It's like, well, am I getting the real you, or am I just getting who you want us to see? And I think that was so important when we were brainstorming ideas for On the DL and just talking through a lot. We really wanted to just be our most authentic self. What you see with us is what you get. The way we talk mess to each other now is the way we talk mess to each other when we get off the phone.
Right.
And so we just really open, really honest, really transparent. It's just really important for us. And we understand how important our platform can be. So,
right.
I mean, now when we say authentic, that don't mean I'm finna get on her without my eyelashes on. I mean, Dominique with lashes is as authentic as y'all.
Baby, this is from the scalp, okay?
You see me?
This is from the scalp.
Straight
from the scalp. Just don't look too close.
Our other value is faith. As we mentioned, as Lexi briefly mentioned before, we are both God-fearing women. There's not many things that scare me except God, the Father.
And really, honestly, that's the first thing, honestly.
Right. And so, like Lexi said, it had really been on her heart. And God was really speaking to her on, starting something like this. And it had really been on mine too. And so we just keep our faith first in everything that we do. It doesn't mean we're going to get on here and censor ourselves or make everything biblical and read the Bible verbatim. This is not a Bible study. This is not Sunday service. This is not 3 o'clock service. This is not the usher board meeting.
Not 3 o'clock service.
I'm just saying. We love God, but we're open enough to admit that we mess up. And I know, at least for me, a lot of times I fall short, of His grace and His purpose and the things that He has for me. But I'm learning every day. But our faith is what kind of really what keeps us grounded.
Exactly.
And keeps us sane.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is like that's the foundation. So although this may not be a Bible study, that is the foundation of everything that we go through in life. All the perspectives that we have, that's the first thing I think of. I can only speak for myself, but my faith is the most important thing to me, the number one most important thing to me. So that will always be in the mix in our conversation. And what's the next value?
We had transparency down, but that's kind of hand in hand with authenticity.
Right.
Again, we're going to be very open and honest, and a lot of times we may come to revelations of our truth while we're having these conversations. And so a lot of what me and Lexi like to do when we're sitting down and doing these podcasts is we think through what topics we may want to talk about. But it's so hard for us not to talk about it right then.
Oh my gosh.
We want our conversations to be real and authentic when we sit here and talk to y'all.
Yeah, we've been on the phone. I'd be like, "Oh, girl, I want to tell you something so bad, but I'm gonna wait to episode 3. We'll talk about it in a couple weeks."
Right. Let us get to season 2 and then we gonna bring it back.
Right. This has been great. I'm so excited to get this out. If y'all have questions, y'all can leave it in the comment section on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. But that is all we have for you today. And next week, we getting into it next week. Okay.
I don't think they're ready though, sis. I don't think they're ready. I'm not even ready.
Can't be.
I'm a little.
I don't know what's about to happen in this conversation, but we're gonna see.
But we're super excited. This has been our very first episode with many more to come of On the DL with Diamond Legs. And please remember, no matter what, walk in your truth, even if it's on the DL. We love you guys. Bye.
me.